Akka Bollywood ek taraf, Emraan Hashmi. Aryan called up and Bilal asked me that, are you okay playing an intimacy coach? I was like, if I can't do it, no one else can do it.
There is any other motivation for me to choose the kind of roles that I do other than creative. The whole purpose of being an artist fails here.
There's a running joke. I used to say that I'm going to take this to my tombstone, like the whole serial kisser thing. I think Raghav crying was something that had us in splits also, because we didn't expect that he was going to go that over the top with that thing.
That's the image that currently you have. You're the poster girl for the Hindu nationalists. People who think that you are sticking to tradition.
I cannot ask my audience to watch the film just because the subject is great.
Had to see it from the lens of a Muslim also.
We take ourselves too seriously.
An artist, if you don't risk things, that's not art. That's empty marketing.
You're an actor first. I'm there to do a job. I'm in service of the film.
Aryan loves acting out scenes. So that's the first thing I asked when I came on the film. So I said, why are you a director? Why did you become an actor?
Yeah.
I do stalk a little bit. Okay, I don't know if I should say this on camera, but...
A great morning to all of you. My name is Sonal Kalra, and I'd like to welcome you formally to Hindustan Times HD City Fever Stars in the City, and very, very happy to have with us here Emraan Hashmi and Yami Gautam. My first question always to whoever comes to Delhi to promote is how does it feel? थोड़ा pollution है लेकिन बहुत सारी walk है दिल्ली के लोगों में. So your first response to Delhi, I saw it be here.
I love the food here, but I can't eat it. But I generally am constantly on a diet. But I like coming to Delhi. It gets a little hectic because we have these things of going to news channels, and we don't get to kind of, as much as I would want to, visit the city and go to other places and meet some friends here. I don't get the time. And yeah, it's the smog. It's that stubble burning.
That's right. We're being told that it's better this year than others, but
Better this year, yeah.
We've also made an attempt at artificial rain that didn't succeed, but Delhi is hoping to get its first artificial rain one of these days. What about you, Yami? From the north, ज़्यादा ठंड की जगह से आप आते हो तो दिल्ली की सर्दी फिर आपको कैसे लगती?
मेरी पहली फिल्म की शूटिंग यहाँ दिल्ली में हुई थी और याद करने की कोशिश कर रही थी क्या उस वक्त, because we started shooting in September and went on till 29th November, to be precise, and I think it was much more clearer back then. So I, of course, hoping for better air, hoping for, the city is always a bit full of spunk and spirit and grateful. And I hope things get better. I'm sure everyone is trying their best in whatever they can. And coming to food, I had massive plans, but they've been fizzled to another level because while on paper every tour or hopping from one studio to studio, we do factor in a break, but I have no idea where that goes. I don't think I have a track of lunch or dinner, so all the plans of Pandala Road and Khan Market and etc., they have been successful this time.
Are there any recommendations here close by to call for some good food? Is there anything over here?
Well, be
Where?
Moolchand parathe.
Why no die? You don't.
Not to me, Pa. She's a foodie.
और हमें सैलेड दिल्ली वालों को सैलेड्स की रिकमेंडेशन देना नहीं आता. We can't think beyond सैलेड.
That's all me. That's the recommendation I'll take.
सैलेड हो प्याज और नींबू सैलेड.
Well said. So, all right, we dive straight into the subject. And I know that you've been asked this a million times. I wouldn't want my questions to be repetitive, but can't help but ask you this, that on a scale of 10, when you heard the fact that the film is on the Shabano case, on a scale of 10, what was your thought? How controversial or jittery were you? I mean, how jittery were you that it is a controversial subject to take? And how ready were you to say yes the moment you heard the narration?
No, that was the controversy or any kind of potential debate or discussion is not the first thought as an artist. It's always, how do I feel after reading the script? Is this something I want to be a part of? of course, it's such a powerful story of very, very courageous woman back in the 80s, where, today we have multiple conversations and mediums and portals to express who we are, what we want, what to do, what can be done to make things better, stand up for our rights and duties and yada, yada, yada. But back in the day, there was nothing of that sort. And how can a woman coming from where she was with children, not even proper education, and here she was without the intent to make it any controversial, but literally do the best what every mother does for her child, is how do I provide them the best that I can to my ability, and unintentionally and unknowingly fighting the system. I took it that way. And sometimes what happens, a great subject may not be married to a great script. And then I cannot do the film because we are in service of the film. The film has to work. I cannot ask my audience to watch the film just because the subject is great. It has to be, we are in an entertainment business. We have to make sure first that what we are endorsing, what we are marketing, what we're presenting to you, it's worth your time and money. And for me, all the answers, everything lies in that script. And I thought it's a wonderfully written script by Reshu Nath. And when Reshu and they were extremely passionate about it. For me, it's also very important to know what is the intent behind making the film from my director's perspective and the makers and the writer, and the heart was in the place.
Yeah.
And here we are now sitting. I still don't believe, I still remember those conversations that absolutely fresh when we spoke for the first time. And here we are now again back, and it's all there in another, I think, 8-9 days for people to open to the audience for all their opinion, for their feedback, and really excited for it.
Oh, that's well said, Yadi. And Emraan, I'm assuming again that lots and lots of people would have come to you and said that controversial subject hai, abhi Hindu Musalman wala time aisa chal raha hai. You come from the Muslim community. Why get into a controversy? It's easier to sign a really safe film. You're doing so well in your career. Why take the risk? Were there people who said that to you? And what made you say yes to this?
There were people. I mean, there were questions asked, first of all, when I signed this film. And I have done films of a certain nature that are entertainers, that are those mass appeal films. I think it's very important, firstly, as an actor, to do a huge gamut, a variety of different roles and characters and tonalities of films. That, for me, is growth as an artist. I think as an artist, if you don't risk things, that's not art. That's empty marketing. That's, you do those kind of films, those popcorn flicks that release and then they're soon forgotten after that week, 2 weeks of theatrical run, which is fine. That also is part of the business, and those films are important as entertainment. But there are certain films that are very important as an emotional journeys, films that leave behind a message that resonate and will stay in people's conversations beyond a certain theatrical run. And I felt the merit in this, going back to the original Shabano case, I was very intrigued. I knew a little bit about it. But when Supan came and narrated it to me, of course, this is inspired from that. But there are elements that have been dramatized. It's the interpersonal story between the two. And yes, you can't shy with the fact that they belong to that community, Shabano and Ahmed Khan. But I think there is something for everyone in this film. It goes across the board. And it's not really singling out people from a certain community or maligning a community. I had to see it from the lens of a Muslim also. For the first time. I've never done that before. It's because of the sensitivity of the subject. And once I came to know through the first narration and when I read the script in detail, first of all, I wanted to kind of humanize the man a bit, because in retrospect, he might seem like a bit of there is a whole patriarchy angle of it, but there has to be a humane side of it.
Sure.
I didn't want it to be like, okay, if I won't see it as just a hero versus villain story, then it would be a very routine, typical, that's what we do in Bollywood generally to sell our films. But there was a lot of nuance in it, and it was a very, very well thought of, unbiased look at this case. And we leave that to the audience when they leave the hall. what they think of it. So it's not about, it is about these two people from a community, but it could be from people to any communities. There are a lot of people have been caught in this thing of love, religion, the law. And divorce is something that, there are always bad divorces, and there's something that you can take from that also, from this story.
In fact, Emraan, I'm glad that you mentioned the nuances because right before you both came, because they're young audiences and I didn't want them to be clueless about what the case is. So just gave them a little bit of a factual brief before you came here so that they can relate better to what you're saying and saves time. While I was telling them the factual details, it came through that Shabano was a 62-year-old woman and she'd been married for 50 long years to her husband. And the immediate thought that comes to a person's mind is, oh, how we now cruel. But as you said, there's always a layered side to a story. So would you say that you, after doing the film in hindsight, have been able to turn this from an out and out, the woman is positive, the man is negative situation to an actual situation of the man that also people would relate to?
I think men would reflect on this. I'm not saying that all men are like this. It's an ideology. It is. This is also comes from a certain righteousness and a power equation where the man enforces this in a patriarchy on women. It costs a woman her dignity. When he sometimes in this space hides behind the garb of tradition and his perception or very convenient interpretation of his personal faith.
Yeah.
It's skewed because he wants to get what he wants to get out of it, and he wants to, it's like having the cake and eating it too. But then the woman is left in the lurch. She's left without maintenance after the divorce, a bad divorce. And a lot of women like that. I mean, God forbid, if the woman is not independent, is not financially stable, it's hell for the woman because she doesn't know how to seek justice. And that is one scene in the film also. How do you do this? And it becomes this unsurmountable task, but she took it upon herself, Shabano, and she went through the entire thing of 6 years, session court, high court. It's a long process, but she went through that. And she was fighting for herself, for her family. But she became a testament and an example for generations of women after that. And it became a talking point.
Yami, your, for the kind of roles that you've done, and I must, it is the first time we are meeting after that, but I must tell you that Article 370, you are like unbelievably good. But at the same time, it is a reality of the times that we're living in that when one does these kind of roles, the image of being nationalistic, and there's nothing wrong or right with having an image. But that's the image that currently you have. You're the poster girl for the Hindu nationalists, people who think that you are sticking to tradition while a lot of other women in Bollywood are very more westernized. And you see that in every social media feedback that you get of yours and in the roles that you choose. Now, here comes a film where you're playing a Muslim character, and therefore, as I told Emraan, you're also taking a big risk of trying to bring out something. Were you told that Shabano's case in some way, sort of supports the nationalistic cause of the fact that there should be common laws in the country over the Muslim personal law or any other religion-based laws? Was that a reason that made you sort of take up this particular role?
If there is any other motivation for me to choose the kind of roles that I do other than creative, the whole purpose of being an artist fails here. I don't think my career rests on any controversy or any kind of clickbait culture where I'm here for just, some time, and I've been here for a while, since 2012. And we're sitting in 2025. I was always the same person. I made my debut with a film which was very unconventional for that time, but of course, it was one of the biggest hits in a path-breaking script. And what I'm trying to do is just stick to being that person who I always was. It may have not reflected in a couple of days in the middle, but that's fine. There's also a time when you get success early on, especially when you're not from the industry. I'm not getting to the inside-outside. I'm speaking facts. You take time, right, to find your ground and understand what do you want to do here? What are you here for? Are you here for something, the easy way, which is be around, be seen around everywhere, and just be in the side, to be in सबके ज़हन में रहने के लिए. And I felt no, the only reason that I should exist here or I should mean something to someone, which is my audience and myself, is through my work. And for that, my script, my role, my team is extremely important. What one perceives out of something. See, we also have a habit somewhere of, let's give an image to someone, right? I don't take it as a negative feedback. मैं इसको सीरियसली नहीं लेती हूँ. मैं इसको नेगेटिव तरीके से बिल्कुल नहीं लेती हूँ. लोगों का काम है, चाहे मैं हूँ कोई और है, चलो ये इमेज देते हैं, अब ये इमेज देते हैं, अब ये सूट कर रहा है कोई नैरेटिव. तो I cannot cater to every thought process. I have to do what I have to do. This is only the third film, which you may think, oh, this is again some nationalistic. For me, I'm being part of films, or I'm voicing out those characters who are literally unsung heroes of our country. How is it that a film talking about a social reform, about a progressive reform, can be viewed or colored in any other way but progressive? That'll be beyond my comprehension. So I'm here to entertain with your doing.
That's an excellent answer, because it is, and Emraan has also said this in his interviews, that all that you both are doing as actors is bringing a story which ought to bring about that reform, that progressive feeling in the minds of society, religion agnostic. That's what. Is there any particular scene in the film that completely moved you, Yami? We watched the trailer and that dialogue of biryani nahi hai ki, that unless, yeah. So it's to me that was very powerful. I don't know if audiences have seen the trailers yet, but any scene that made you relate as a woman to Shabano's character the most, that kind of shook you?
That scene. There's another scene in the film which is right after the Sheer Korma scene. Right after that, there's just a glimpse of it is there in the trailer, but I don't know if that's something which the different reasons, the different dialogues that everyone is talking about. But there's one scene right after the Sheer Korma scene, which is between just me and my sister-in-law. And I'm just talking out loud. I'm not talking to anyone actually. I'm just trying to justify in my head that what must have happened, that I'm going through what I'm going through. It may have been probably my mistake at some point. Kind of. And I think at some point, all of us, maybe at some point, we must have gone through the same emotion where we are trying to make sense out of somebody else's doing and put it on us.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, that is why the character of Shabano, where I'm playing Shazia Bano in the film, because it's inspired by the man Marquez and not a biopic. I thought I'm actually kind of, and there were moments in the film where I thought it's really universal. This emotion, this guilt, these such thoughts. There's something which is very relatable to each and every woman at some point in her life. I don't know what, I don't know when, I don't know how, but maybe yes. So that and I think the speech in the end, that's actually even what Emraan's speech is, which when you will watch the film, you'll know. I think these two are extremely that's the fulcrum of the film, and I think the core on the heart where the film lies.
Sure. I'll Emraan, for you move a little bit away from Haq, because मैं इतनी सारी लड़कियां जो इतना मुस्कुरा रही थी आपके आने से पहले, सब एकदम serious हुए हैं, but the very information that Emraan Hashmi is going to be in the house gave so much joy to a lot of fans telling that. So आज सब बॉलीवुड वाले छोटे से कैरेक्टर में से भी इतनी तारीफ मिल रही है आपको. What is that thing? सारी फिल्म आखा मौली को देखता है इमरान.
The girls are literally like, I see that struggle. कोई नहीं मैं ये सबने सोचा होगा कि ये वाली लाइन मैं बोलूँगी. But I think in the end you all can just say it like out loud together. I think that'll be a great show.
Play. No, हम सब तो बोल सकते हैं पर मैं सोच रही थी अगर इमरान एक बार अपने स्टाइल में बोल सकते अक्खा बॉलीवुड एक तरफ वाली चीज
Akha Bollywood ek taraf, Emraan Hashmi. Look, appeal to that line. First of all, a masterstroke. The writers, Faramine, Bilal, Aryan, the entire team. And a bit of a trivia. Two things actually. That was not the original scene that was written for me. It was actually me at a film premiere where there's a fan, and that is Radha. And he sees me, and there's a little room where he starts singing about her. And I think 1 month before the film shoot, this was locked as an intimacy coach, and it was bounced off. Aryan called up, and Bilal asked me that, are you okay playing an intimacy coach? I was like, if I can't do it, no one else can do it. So they also took it to Mr. SRK, and he loved the idea and the change. And then finally we shot the scene. And that scene was like, there was a bit of improv in it. I think Raghav crying was something that had us in splits also, because we didn't expect that he was going to go that over the top with that singing, but he was mind-blowing. I think due credit to the way he's done it, Laksh, the entire, all the artists over there. And that's the thing. I mean, you don't know what goes viral, what sticks with the audience. I didn't know because I don't generally get on social media. I got a call from Netflix 6 hours after I think the next morning, from the head of Netflix. She called up and said that, Imran, how viral this has gone. This is unbelievable. People are coming to the 3rd episode and consuming it just for that. It's just insane. So, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get that.
क्यों हंसी कैसे intimacy
I charge for that. And I'm very expensive.
What a brilliant answer. All right, हम लोग जितनी बार में सीन देखते हैं ना, we also, I mean, I wonder कि उसमें retakes होना possibility नहीं, because it's so natural. But
I love retakes.
Oh, they
I love retakes.
because you must have also, but हंसी छूट गई होगी ना, the way Albo was doing.
See, the thing is, when you're enacting something like this, we don't laugh at our own joke on the set because, there is this kind of very self-indulgent.
True.
But we're just doing it the way we're doing it, and then the audience is supposed to laugh. And yeah, I just got that reaction. Aryan loves acting out scenes. So that's the first thing I asked when I came on the film. So I said, why are you a director? Why did you become an actor?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll become an actor someday, I don't know. But hopefully he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also lets actors be. He shows you the tonality of the scene and then tells people that, and get your bit into it and, your personality.
Wonderful. Great. So we'll come down to some audience questions now. There's Ruchira who wants to ask the question to Emraan. It's Ruchira. Okay, right there.
So I think it's covered a part of it, but my question was how has life changed after this series? I think it's a very different role that you play, and especially after these signs getting viral, and I would really like you to repeat the life concept.
How has life changed?
After Bachelor Bollywood.
No, but life hasn't changed. I mean, this is something that I realize that the fans have been missing for a long time. It's like I don't know, lack of a better word, a vintage version of what people had seen. And as an actor, I had to, have a bit departure from that. And it's like, I was telling someone else in an interview, it's like serving a certain dish that people like. And then you move on to other things that you serve. But there's always that aftertaste of something that was the first, and they loved that. And then they got a glimpse of it, and they love it. And I see this whenever I go. Like, I was shooting in Bangkok, and there were people like Indians there at the airport, and everyone. This has become this sticking point. And there's a running joke. I used to say that I'm going to take this to my tombstone, like the whole serial kisser thing. That kiss from 1979 to whatever. But this is something else that will thankfully stick around now, and people won't say the earlier one as much. But yeah.
ये तो इतना Gen Z में इतनी sudden re-popularity हुई after the series. So what does your son have to say about this? Are his friends coming up and saying
No, actually, okay, I don't know if I should say this on camera, but he's really embarrassed about it. So in school, you had to play, you had to facilitate things like either you head a certain society where you teach stuff, like you do your own bit. So all his friends are asking now, why don't you become an intimacy coach? So it's like, I should be saying this. So he's like, you have ruined things for me in school, and yeah, it's the running joke. Every day I come to school, it's a rap base. So would you just stop? So yeah,
He could,
I'll stop for a while now.
I'm sure he's secretly enjoying all the attention he's getting now because of how lovely you worked in this. Aishwarya has a question to ask of Yavi. Yeah.
Hi, Shraddha. I'm good. Thank you.
I have a question. So you mentioned this before also that you choose like challenging role. My question is, how do you select those challenging roles and then artists? Like which one do you think, okay, this one is with me, I want to do this, like, or I want to do this particular character. Like how do you choose that?
Thank you for your lovely question, Aishwarya. And I wish I had a definite answer to it, or a very, what an answer. It's my instinct. I don't plan anything. Like right now also, I'm doing some 4-5 whatever films I'm doing. I'm not doing just to fill calendars. I've never done that. Of course, there was a time where I genuinely didn't have work, and for me, facing media to promote those one-off films that I was doing, probably my co-actors would be, this is what I'm doing. And I'd be like, oh my God, please don't ask me this question because I don't know what to say. Like today with confidence, I can go back to that time. But back in the day, that little girl was very, very nervous. But, so I made it a point that whenever I reach that junction in my life where I have the opportunity to make these decisions, I will not get overwhelmed. I'll not get, let me also. This is not in comparison with anyone, but I'll never work just for the heck of it. If, for all you know, I may have had just maybe one film after that, and I would have been okay. Because I love those scripts, I love those parts, and I felt the intent is again to create and give you something fresh. I'm also an audience, apart from, of course, being an actor. Even I fear that I should not repeat myself or the kind of films I'm doing at all, right? We need, how we're celebrating a Kantara, right? All over, regardless of whether you understand Kannada or not. But culturally, it's tied up, for example, all of us together, and we absolutely believe in the film, right? So I'm only looking for ideas. It's not through any particular genre as such. And because I'm a person of my instinct, and whatever I believe in life, जो आपकी पहली feeling होती है ना, पहला thought, किसी भी चीज़ को लेके life में, for important decisions, that'll never ditch you. We can silence that voice if we want to and, make stories or whatever. But the first instinct, be it regarding a person, be it regarding a script, be it regarding any decision in life, is mostly correct.
Nice. Okay, we have Raj Ratan Pugalia, and he's written a poem for the both of you rather than a question. You want a mic? Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, first Yami, because हमारे बोलते हैं हमारे शास्त्रों में भी नारी सर्वोपरि, तो बड़ी धूमधाम से आई है यामी. इसमें आपकी पिक्चरों के नाम पूछे. बड़ी धूमधाम से आई है यामी, आदित्य धीर जिनके सनम रे. आज है साल की 10वीं कड़ी अक्टूबर. ओ अच्छी दिन भी है आज थर्सडे. इस काबिल बादा की कैसी जुनूनियत है देखो. इस कागरी बादा की कैसी जुनूनियत है देखो. विकी डोनर, आर्टिकल 370, पूरी जैसी फिल्में हैं देखो. हक से देखो, हक थिएटर में सबको बड़ा मजा आएगा. यामी की एक्टिंग का मर्द आपको तभी समझ में.
Wow. I do.
मैं कोई हूँ. आशी पनाया आपने.
I missed the second.
आशी पनाया आपने भाषणी के दौरान जन्नत दिखा गया आप, ये आपका आवारापन. इस रश में मिल गई मुझे आपकी सेल्फी. आज पूरी हुई मिलने की हमारी अधूरी कहानी. वंस अपॉन ए काइंड इन मुंबई, एक्टर ये आया अच्छा है जी. इनको सबने दिल दिया है, इनका दिल तो बच्चा है. इनकी पर्सनालिटी ने किया कितनों का सिंबॉलिक मर्डर. इनकी पर्सनैलिटी में किया कितना का ऐसे मर्डर हद से ना चाहे इतना आई एम राज आ जाओ उसमें हद से ना चाहे इतना इनका कहते हो और किया जाए
थैंक यू राजू, थैंक यू। फास्ट इतने क्रिएटिव होते हैं आपकी कुछ कविता कुछ जवाब हाजिर जवाबी सोचते, बट थैंक यू।
दैट इज वेरी वेरी सर, आपने खुद लिखा है, चैट जीपीटी ने लिखा?
Thank you so much. So
really sweet. Thank
Ankit Gupta has the next question.
My question is for Emraan. Emraan, you have always played very substantial, unconventional roles. For this particular role, do you have to go an extra mile, prepare for it, or was it just like cooking naturally out of your experience?
Yeah, a little bit from, I guess, you see, I mean, I have a very basic process. I just read scripts over and over again. As the more I read it, the more clear I get about a certain character, the tonality of the film. Of course, Jani is the director. In this film, I think the challenge was very different from Abbas Khan as a person. His ideology, the kind of person that he is, his background, where he comes from. And to get into that, of course, I needed that director to understand it better. And I think there's no substitute for getting on the film set and, jamming the actors, the crew. And then, for me, the first 5 days are very important. Then the character starts talking back to me. So the first 5 days are very crucial. I think what was a little anxiety, really situation for me was the fact that I was playing a lawyer for the first time. But it was, again, the support of the director for this. I had done a bit of a rehearsal for it before I went on the film set, and I sent it to the director, and he said, "This is fantastic, but this is not what you're supposed to do, because this is Bollywood key lawyer of yelling in a courtroom." So I had actually shot it because I was like, I needed to get this clear before I get there with the lines, because there are pages and pages of monologue. So we have used this certain decorum in the courtroom, and if you see it, it's by the book, how a lawyer will be talking in a sessions court, in a high court and Supreme Court. So that research, getting that key, and just learning tons and tons of lines. And that's the thing about being an ICSE student. You mug up so much stuff anyway, so you get used to it.
यामी ने कहीं तो ब्रिलियंट लॉयर पे प्ले किया था ओएनजी में, वो लॉयर कोर्टरूम ड्रामा के लिए कोई टिप्स दी आपने?
हाँ ना, इन्होंने दी एक्शन मुझे. I wanted to talk when you falter on or fumble on a certain line of a 7-page monologue or 8-page monologue, you have to go back, and you have to go back. She said that, you have to, it's because the momentum gets lost. Yeah. But thankfully, I think her monologue, she did it superbly well without giving too much away about the context of the monologue. She also had pages of lines. And we were so prepped by then and so ready and so stressed about it way before. Then we both did it in a take, in one take.
Whoa.
Okay.
Amazing. आपके डायरेक्टर होते हैं तो उनसे मैं पूछती कि कितना आसान होता है ब्रिलियंट एक्टर्स के साथ काम करना, बिकॉज sometimes there are stars, but I think it's more important to have good actors for a film like this, especially when you have these kind of scenes.
I think so one of the most basic things in our industry, especially in Hindi, as compared with other industries, even in the West, of course exceptions are always there, is that we take ourselves too seriously, right? We are there, we literally, I mean, Emraan's such a big star, but not even an air of any baggage or anything, and that's the first mark of a true blue star, that you're an actor first. I'm there to do a job. I'm in service of the film. I'm in service of the director and the entire crew that is literally have pinned up and worked really hard for that particular moment to come alive. So I take my job seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. जो करना है, हाँ अगर अच्छा आज ये करना, हाँ करते हैं, let's try. Maybe the director sometimes wants some other variation. Yeah, let's try. Let's see what works. Let the editor be spoiled for choice. Sometimes you feel, no, I think my instinct, my gut feels that this is. And usually, hum dono, we're very similar that way. Our first takes, I think, are some of our best takes. So we don't go beyond 3 or something, unless there's a technical issue. So I think that's a very basic thing where I think we, as I said, we're in service. At once the film is released, we're in service of the audience. So that's about it. It's very simple.
Lovely. All right, the last audience question is from Annie. Yeah.
Annie, there's a lot of pressure on you. That's the last one.
So my question is for both of you. So Delhi is so popular for its variety of food. If you could forget your diet for one day and eat something you're really craving over here, what would you eat?
I know Emraan subtitle, this girl. Well, I've never seen her on diet, so what are you talking? This question is for me, is not for her.
That's why I added diet.
What?
Me?
Yeah, go for it.
I had a whole list planned, yeah. I'm telling you, Pandara Road. First I said Khan Chacha Market. I said, who's Khan Chacha? I said, it feels like it's Khan Chacha. I said, no, it's just Khan Market. I said, okay, so Khan Market and something, the Dal Bukhara, or right now I don't have time for all of that because we want to eat something which is little more practical. और ये सब खाने के लिए आपको इत्मीनान से वो हक से टाइम मांगता है ये सारी चीजें राइट वो है नहीं but one tip I want to take before I leave I really want some I'm very big fan of bakery some really nice bakery so if you can tell me where can I pick up like a nice tea cake it'll be great done so you have my answer
I would have butter chicken here, butter chicken and naan. I don't know the last one I had in naan. Yeah.
Gulati and Ashok's, I've heard of Ashok. That's for muttoning, yeah.
But if I haven't right now, I'll just flightline. I won't go through the whole gamut of news channels right now. I'll have to just take the next flight back. So maybe the next time when I have an off, then I'll just go out and stuff my case.
Okay, the team H2City wanted you both to pit against each other in a small game to end this on a fun note. He will mouth the words, but it'll be the names of his films. So that makes it finite and easy for you to guess, right? So let's have Yami go first. And once she has it on, I'll tell you all what word is he lip syncing to, what film title.
It's not gangster. I know all your films' names. Azhar. Some song, some other thing. No,
It's not a song.
it's
Pass?
Azhar.
Pass?
There's no film called Azhar.
No.
It's not even gangster. It's Say again. I can't.
Remove it.
Okay, next.
Okay.
What was it?
Aksar.
Oh. Amarapan. Yeah, come on. Ashik banaya aapne. The dirty picture.
I think she got it.
See, I got it even before you could finish. The first one, I was like,
Okay, so now
okay.
his turn.
This is very loud. I've got deaf like this.
Yeah, so it took me a while to
Either the one. You may also, once he puts it on, want to tell the audience about which one you're doing.
Okay. I'm going to
You
improvise.
can turn it down. I'm loud, yeah.
I'm going to improvise a bit based on my
Sorry, what?
liking of my films.
Look. To right. What again? Ajab.
See,
I'm very bad at this, by the way.
Okay, let me try the other one.
Love.
Yes, very close.
That's sweet.
Okay.
चोर निकल के भागा. Doom-dam.
Yeah, so 2.
I got 2, no? Haan.
2,
Haan.
which is fine.
Good, yeah. Not
Good
bad.
fun.
I thought we worked on that.
Okay, just a few quick questions. Very, very quick. So one word kind of answers. I'm just not calling it rapid fire, but it is rapid fire. Imran, what is the most bizarre thing you've read about yourself?
Bizarre thing that I've read about myself. Nothing bizarre, actually. They're all pretty much the truth, yeah. It might be bizarre for the audience, the way they're true for me.
Okay. Yami, what's the most absurd rumor that you ever heard about yourself?
Well, there were videos that I saw like right after our wedding. There's some really fancy, fantastic, the luxury at its peak kind of been gifted to us by all by the entire industry. Like this actor's gifted this car, this director's gifted this diamond ring and jewelry, and all my relatives, all they want to know is congratulations. और फिर सच में और वो जो गाड़ी पे कैसी अच्छी है? It's why are people saying all this? And finally I came across those videos, so I thought it was funny.
If there's one handle that you stalk on Instagram, Imran, whose is it?
Handle if I stalk on Instagram. I'm not telling you. Why would I tell you? And they would come to know if I tell you. Yeah. I do stalk a little bit. I do. I don't get on social media as much because that side emerges and then I lose half the day. So that's why I don't get on social media much. Yeah.
Yummy.
I don't stalk, but I love anyone who's funny, anyone who can make you laugh. I think I just keep watching their videos or something. And these days are really funny influencers. They're genuinely really funny.
Perfect. We've come to the very end of the session, and if there is one pitch that you both get to make about asking people to go and watch Haq in theatres, what is that one reason, Emraan?
I think there's something for everyone in this film, and it's, at the end of the day, Indian audiences want an emotional experience, and it's a film that really hits you hard. It touches you. It touches that chord in you. And and it's one of those films that also gives you something more. It goes way beyond just being a film. And like I said earlier, that some films are made for just something more than just that ending experience. They're meant to be and resonate in public domain for a long time. And I think Haq is that. And I think it's a film, without missing my words, it's something in my resume of work. I'm very proud of it. And it's even 10 years down the line, people will look back in this film and say that that's the film we should watch. I'm very proud of it.
Excellent. You spoke about the taking to the tomb thing. I really hope this role becomes something so memorable about you for people. Yami, why should people watch Haq?
I think just adding to what Emraan has just said rightly. And through a course of this media tour that we're having, and one of the main questions is why Haq, why the story in 2026, from 1985 to 2026, why should we watch it today? And having been attached to the film, to the story, having lived this character for X number of months, no amount of words can justify why than the film itself. And I assure you, my audience, I can never take my audience for granted. I don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Our job, we're always sitting on the fence. We don't know what's going to happen the other side. But I do know the audience has always applauded risk takers and people with the right intent to make and tell you a good story, a fresh story, a relevant story. So this is our story, Haq, on 7th of November. And I'm quite certain, I'm quite positive now, all my hopes are pinned on my audience.
Thank you.